That's good. We appear to be running, which is good news. So we've been a bit on and off recently. Last week I wasn't feeling great. Had this cold that was going around. Didn't suffer very much, thanks for asking. But it has inspired me to do a new picture today, which will be the Benelin Martini. It's been a long time coming. Now, the purists among you will have noticed that it's not really a proper Benelin Martini, because I've got the non-drowsy one that I think for the sake of a painting it will do. So all the preparation tonight, I haven't got anything ready. Running from pillar to post, one thing to another. So this is all real time. From scratch. Okay. I'm putting any paint out or clean my palette, but that's going to happen now. I'm going to need some brushes, they'll be helpful. Some rag. So yes, share your Benelin recipes if you have any. I mean, you can do all sorts of stuff with it. It's just such a great ingredient. It's not all cocktails. Maybe a little dash in the bolognese really brings out the flavors. I don't know. I'm not much of a cook, but those of you of a more gastronomic bent will probably have some suggestions as to ways to use Benelin to liven up the kitchen. Would have been good for an episode of Ready Steady Cook, actually. Definitely something I'd have added in there. I've also got a couple of strepsils, which are rather jewel-like, and they introduce, I've gone for a bit of a red theme here, but they introduce this lovely sort of glittery sapphire blue. Well, I need a new blade on this, don't I? So let's just do that. Hey, I'm not in any hurry, am I? Otherwise, that's just going to take an age. Find a new blade. Brilliant. Yep. Yeah, there should be a transformation. Oh, and it is. Look at that. Woo! Now, some of you who are more local will probably be aware that Art Weeks is coming up, which is the big open studio event in this little corner of the world. So I've been doing a lot of preparation for that. Can't quite think what right now, but I know I have been busy doing something. Bit of framing, bit of spending loads of money on mounts. Yeah, I haven't got around to actually doing the work to put in the stuff, but maybe it'll be useful for next time. Hey, there we go. All that can go. This can be actually just a little talk about how I waste time before I start painting and prepare myself. This palette scraping is mostly about making a nice clear area so I can mix colours without having to think too much or make too much effort to sort of not let them muddy or become disorganised or end up being mixed on the wrong bit of the palette, so they mix in with some neighbour and mess it all up. I shouldn't need that. So one thing I will do, and I think I will do it now. Oh yes, do say hello and send a message. I'm trying to keep an eye on the little chat section. There we are. Evening, Matt. Yes, Matt's already on board with the Benelin Martini. Okay, so this is an old palette. I haven't painted anything in ages, which is terrible. So I'm just pulling out the old colours. Let's see there. There's some unused Indian yellow, which is a little bit criminal. So I'm pulling out the paint that hasn't formed the skin. Putting it back out on the palette. Let's do this all around. Oh, even the cadmium red's formed a skin. If the alizarin's formed a skin, you know you haven't painted in ages, at least a week. Oh, it's right on the edge. Actually, it's a bit dangerous, especially with a transparent colour when it's on the edge, because little bits of sort of half-formed skin on the paint. Yeah, you don't want them in your mixes, making your paint go lumpy. Right. Ultramarine. No, that's pretty much gone. There's some cobalt here as well. I don't really need both, but they're both there. We'll retrieve that while I'm here. Oh, that's a big old mess. Probably the second time I've sort of dug into that to clean it up. Bit of iridium. Yeah, again, oh, this is all a big mess. It will be a disaster of a palette, this one. What's left here? Right, yeah, that would have been some burnt sienna. It's just a giant mess as well. No good. I will keep a bit of that though, and I'm going to put this green in it, and that's going to be my starting colour for drawing. A lovely green. Okay, how's that white? That's okay, that's still open. And this one, oh, they're good. Excellent, I'll leave them as they are. Let me scrape up. let's just get all of this we call it palette colours that threaten to make everything lumpy. Make a nice clean area. Ooh. Oh, that's kind of satisfying. And I paste all these into a cardboard box. And it's big lumps, I scrape it against the edges, so and then you end up with some rather interesting build-ups of paint, which people find more entertaining than your actual paintings. Okay, last bit. Put these back. Yellow ochre. Lots of reds and oranges here, so having two reds out and having a bit more space around them makes sense for this particular palette. I'll put in the corner, and I'll move the blues a bit further down. Some ultramarine, there's some cobalt, and all the rest of it. And all get cleaned up. And hey presto, a fresh new palette, which is terribly exciting. Let's use that. Well, didn't take long. Long enough for everyone to get bored and leave and go, oh, there's nothing interesting happening. But to those people, I say, nothing interesting ever happens. And it continues not happening for a period of a couple of hours, at the end of which somehow there's a painting. That's sort of how it works. Okay. Let's put some of this on. Do I like that composition? I don't really. Not 100% on it. I kind of want a bit of space for the glass. Oh, I'll tell you what I haven't done yet. So this is the ceremonial part. Oh, lovely. No olive on this occasion. I'll leave that lid off. That head in the way. Obviously, you have a slightly different view to me. Whoop. Especially if I go around kicking things. But yeah. Maybe if I stand that up, how's that look? No, it's all too vertical now. About there. Yeah, that's good. That's what I want. I will put up another little piece of board or something to block the light. That white's too bright. A piece of mount board in a colour and a contrasting colour at that. Like a green or something. Oh, sort of gold here. That'll reflect a yellow back. That's almost too much. Does that look? Oh, it sort of goes with the should I turn the box on its side? All these things seem terribly important now. Yeah, that's better. Point it downwards a bit. No, it's not having that. Oh, no, it's not having anything now. I don't know, why not get up and sort it all out again? There's a couple of jewel-like strepsils. Scattered. Simply not playing. Will not accept it. Not bad though. There's quite a bit of light coming from the other side of the room. What with it being lighter these days. Oh yeah, that's okay. I can get on with that. Right. Look at the time. A lot of dithering, isn't it? Yeah, it's all right. It's only 15 minutes or so to go from not ready to paint at all to all set. If I put this in a sort of a shape, there's a sort of a triangle. Yeah, it's kind of going to go in here like this. I'm going to take the height of the ellipse of the glass, and that's going to be my main measurement for everything. If that stops about here, that wants to be about a fifth. It's probably something a bit like that. And if I take the height and the width, it's not going to be exact. Sort of 3 and a bit, really. Height of the ellipse and the height of the base look about the same to me, and they are. Something a bit like that. Again, also big shapes in. These shadows. It's partly reflections and partly actual bottle. things in the wrong places, but yeah, close enough. Subtle. It's important. It's about the space in between. So a lot of this is just sort of thinking out loud in terms of visual shapes and measurements and comparisons and whatever. Just like you might sort of speak out loud to listen to what something sounds like, you know, or hum a tune to yourself to see if you can remember it. So you can look at shapes and forms and relationships and see if you can figure out what's going on with them. Good, that lines up quite nicely. So I can kind of see where these things go now. Not much more to it than that, other than just getting a few shapes of tone. Some dark there, which sort of carries on around the edge of that, and up here, and a little bit in there, sort of. And then the side of this, and inside there, which I've already done, not 100% on that being where that goes, but let's move this shadow, which is better here. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? That's a reflection. There's going to be a strip still here. That might be useful to know later on. Not sure if that's the case. There's another one just here. That's a good spot for it. That's the end of that reflection. Some shadow shapes behind. Cracking. Okay, got a rough idea of where my drawing goes now. I like these brushes, and I'm going to keep these ones out for the moment. I'm going to need some colours. Oh, another mezinge. Looks like it might be another one from Matt. 2 messages in an evening. I'm spoilt. Right, that green is effectively, because I've got a whole red theme here, that green is effectively my black. It will also neutralise the red. Oh no, it's Susan. Oh, it's Susan. Ah. Well, thank you very much, Susan. You're very supportive and encouraging. If I'm honest, I don't know how to start painting this either. I think the key might to just simply don't be afraid and get on with it. And if it goes wrong, change it. It's not going wrong anymore. That's pretty much the attitude. Okay, piles of stuff. Right, I'm going to want some more yellow ochre. Cheap earth colour. Ooh. A little bit of alizarin. Alizarin wouldn't hurt. It's deep crimson colour. And a bit more cadmium red, but it's weird actually. There's only a few bits where it gets very bright. And an earth colour would be good, like the burnt umber. Not sure I have one in the bag, in the drawer. It's a raw umber. Actually, raw umber is probably a good idea. Oh, I can't open it. That's a really bad reason to... No, it's just sliding. A really bad reason to not have a colour in your palette. I could go upstairs and put it under a hot tap. And then it'll open, but then that's more time, isn't it? So, right, the Lego approach to finding colours. Raw umber. Don't tell me this one's sealed shut as well. No, that's good. Right. Now I can add red to that. And make a burnt umber. Right. Mixing white. Yellow ochre. All the mixing white in that. This term in my classes I'm talking a bit about creating a mother colour. And it turns out that that is also a thing you have for making sourdough bread. Sourdough bread has a mother, which is, I don't know, some source of yeast or something. I don't know. I don't understand these things. That you keep. You have to keep it alive, which is a rather interesting idea. Yeah, so it's a similar thing. Lots of other colours need to come from this. So keeping this pile of stuff alive. It's quite a good analogy, really. So I'm going to be investigating that a little bit. And I know it'll be relevant for one person who makes sourdough bread. Everyone else might just stare at me incredulously, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, this red is going to have a proper support. If I just make everything to red with the colour I put on, then it won't get to sort of sing its song where it turns up, especially in the highlights inside the glass and on top of the box, and in a few other little bit of places as well. So that background red, the one at the bottom underneath, which is actually quite a lot of the surface, is really, really low chroma by contrast. So I could almost sort of mix a grey first. Mix some of that. Let's put some red in it. Just turn it up until it's red enough. Red yellow ochre as well. Is that red enough yet? You know what, for places, certain places, this might be okay. But I want one general red colour that I can make variations of. And I don't think that's it. I think that's more of a specialist colour that pops up in a few places. Here we are. That's redder. And it should be just a little bit darker than that, but not too much. Which it kind of is. So that's a good starting point. One thing I will do as well, let's get some of that red. I've probably done this the wrong way around. Some of that yellow ochre, mix them up. That yellow ochre is quite powerful actually. And that's a kind of an orange I can refer back to. So that's not a mother colour, that sort of belongs up here in between those two. It's sort of readily mixed. If you can see it better there. Yeah, there you go. So that's there now. What else am I going to need? Another darker redder colour. It's for the shadows. Not that much darker though. How dark does it go? Only a little bit. But, yeah, it's a small jump there. And until this starts going on, I can't make a proper judgment as to whether it's accurate, because there's so much going on with these reflections. It's confusing and it's a bit, yeah, too many different things happening. What else am I going to need though? I'm going to need some of this alizarin, which is in a more useful form. It's already got some white in it now. This will slightly lower the tinting strength, which means for popping into a mix here or there. That might be better. And just for good measure, let's make it black with this green and this red. That green's quite powerful. It's already tipped it. Yeah, that's my black now. It's very transparent. It's very dark. It's very much on the red side. Cracking. Other things. So from this mother colour, there will be a couple of colours, but I don't know what they are yet. So first thing I need to do is put some of that on. A couple of number 8s, and we should start to see what this looks like. So it looks really light, and it also looks really yellow. It used to be a lot pinker than that. Bit of pink. What's on the knife is already doing that. Darken it a bit. That'll make it a bit pinker. There you are. Very similar on the palette, but fundamentally different. Yeah, it's already behaving itself better. Also, I've got the context of this existing colour on the canvas as my ground, which is got stuff in it, which is not meant to have. Annoying me. There we go. There's not loads of paint here. there is sort of this change in colour. So I'm putting the lighter one on first. There. Let's get some paint into the surface. That's also going to be down here somewhere. Which will make this shape. And that shape. And this shape, which should agree fairly well with the direction of that. Yeah, so we've got some dynamic lines in, which is nice, bit of fun. What about on here? Let's pop a few in there. And just joining some of these shapes together should help me to build a structure. A bit like that. Something like that. Let's make this slightly darker one now. Next to that, I'll have some of this brown. That's too much. Oh, this other colour, warm it up a little bit. That's a quick mix. That's a suitable amount darker. Same brush should be fine. Marks, let's get that on. It should be fairly quick getting these first areas sort of blocked in. Not trying to make too many decisions about the drawing either. And leave that fairly open as I go along. Ooh, there you go. There's a bit of structure. Oh, I haven't put my the debris polarizing filter onto the camera. How's that doing? Hopefully that gets rid of some of the shine. The other thing I'll do, if you'll excuse me for a moment, when everything goes blurry, is take that light down a little bit. Now it's getting darker outside. That brightness can come right down. Should be back. Ta-da! There we go. Well, something going in there anyway. Okay. I'm starting to realize actually that these colors, which are reflected, are sort of a mixture of this and this, which is actually what I did when I mixed it. So that's not a million miles off. I'm going to go for the dark first, see what it does. Might be a bit off. But hopefully I can see the sort of relationships between different things. There's a nice direction to that. And again, there's this extra darkness just in that bit. Yeah, I'm not going to fuss about that too much. Let's just put in a few other bits and pieces as we go. A few little darks where we see them. This sort of violet colour. It should be useful. It will get brightened up later on. Yeah, very transparent, that colour, so I don't want too much of it. We go back to this, same thing again. Might put more colour into this later on. Still not 100% sure. I'm not even 20% sure that this is right, actually. if I'm putting a number to it, but it will hold a place to begin with until I can hopefully become a bit more certain that it's what I want. There, not sure about any of that. But I'm going to try and sort of put it everywhere that it goes. Including there. Okay. These are filling up with stuff already, so let's just get the excess off that. Let's go into some of these lights. And hopefully this will sort of finish it off. That's too light, isn't it? Or is it? No, maybe it's spot on. Yeah, there's definitely a redder version of this to come out and play at some point. So as my head moves around, I'm seeing more sort of inaccuracies in my drawing, but that's okay. Yeah, I think the base of this might be in a different place as well. And if it is, yes, it absolutely is. It should be down here somewhere. And if that's the case, it's far too soon for me to guess where it is. So I'm just going to, yeah, let's just block this in, see what it does. Can brighten up a bit as well. Now, what I haven't got is a contributing red colour like I did with the yellow, so all that orange. So I think some more of that would probably help. Yeah. So yeah, this is also sometimes known as the Benlin Breezer. But I don't know if that's strictly true. I don't know if it has to have vodka in it for that, or lemonade. I'm not sure. One of those ingredients. Either way, it's got none of it. This is definitely a martini because it's just neat Benlin, as I said, albeit the the non-drowsy one, but you know. We're not all that hardcore. Okay, let's go ahead and just finish blocking this in. It'll help me do some of the drawing rather than trying to make it all perfect. Yeah, that's nice. Fairly happy with that to start with. Not 100%. Didn't really fiddle with the drawing of this glass either, so there might be more of that to do. I'm going to mix up this red I've just promised myself. I didn't say that out loud. I did inside my own mind. Promised myself some lovely red. And that's what I'm going to have. That's the last of my cadmium red, so I'm going to want more of that. It'd be really easy to be lazy and just keep prodding an empty space whenever I need more. But I'm not going to do that. To be all organised. Probably going to need loads of that. And as I demonstrated at the beginning, if you have any left, you can reuse it in the next painting. It does keep going. Now I don't want this to be a super strong colour. I want this to sort of sit back and be a little bit of alizarin in there. A little bit of this yellow. Tiny little bit of mixing white. And a little bit of raw umber. Just to take the edge off. And I've still got this very bright red over there. Don't think that's weak enough. Hey, you know what? I'm going to make it a bit darker. Soft dark red. There we go. Which is sort of natural. Red is a dark toned colour. You know, in a black and white photograph it would appear quite dark. So maximum redness occurs at a low tonal value. If it's very light, it also washes it out. I'm going to add some of this red here, just subtly, just to warm up a few bits. So around there, it's more red. And again, it's where it gets darker, where it's reflecting a shadow colour. I don't overdo it. Back in here, not much, but nice. Definitely gets yellower down here, so I'm going to keep that as it is. Extra reds and a few bits and pieces here. So it acts like a light that travels across. Over here. Yeah, not so much over here. But as it moves up. And now here's where I really want to sort of try and get some extra paint on that surface. That's good. Yeah. Let's go back into that dark and let's put in a few of those darks in places where they're going to go. Here we are. If the lights go on top of those. It should make sense. These things going on. Right. You get this rather dull red, and I'm going to put it in the space where it goes over here. It creates a few edges. Bumps up there, meets the edge of the glass here. Really defines that shape, actually. What else is it? There's sort of a brown version behind the orangey colour. I want to get a bit of that. Put it in here. A bit at the top. Okay, I'm wearing myself out now. Oh, I'm tired of this whole painting lark. Yeah, I'll put orange in there. Now I've got that dark red as well. I can also see a bit in the shadow here. I use the same colour pretty much. What's this doing? So let's put that very dark colour in that. Not dark enough. Is it too dark? Yeah, those sort of corners might seem important there. Well, this is on here. Put a bit in there. A bit in there. Actually, not dark enough up there. That's going to have to come down. smearing things around now. That's a good sign. It seemed to only happen a few minutes ago. That means I've been in it. So I may have gone quite quiet for a while. Sometimes it's hard to judge. Yes. Okay. Might be overdoing it at this stage. I need to sort of take a step back. But yeah, it's the beginnings of something there. I have a little pause. It's been going about an hour. Yeah, almost an hour now. I know the camera looks very dim. I don't know why. I did have a cold last week, Josie. Yes, thank you for your concern. But no, I'm perfectly fine now. It was a bit annoying, but you know, that's just how it goes. But I think of it as, you know, if you get a summer cold, then get it out of the way quick. You can enjoy the rest of your summer. Yeah, apparently it's been going round, and it's just a thing going around. I'm going to try and adjust my lights here. Let's see if I can get a bit more illumination on this. That helps. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So it's actually not too bad a representation of what's going on. It's all very dull colours at the moment, and but it's nice. It's nice and warm. There's something yeah. So having a cold is irritating, but that sort of that one day where your body's sending you a message and going, for goodness sake, just stop, have a duvet day, you know. It's almost like the only thing I get that's close to a holiday these days. Oh yeah, well, I may be a little bit croaky, yes. Also, I've got the benefit of many years of training as a. If ever I was ill as a child, I'd just be informed that I probably wasn't, and that was the end of that. It's actually quite an effective medicine to just go, no, you're probably fine. It's just a bit of a something, and then it's completely dismissed, and that's it. Don't even think about getting any sympathy or special treatment because it ain't happening. So I'm rather good at sort of just overriding it now. So it was just a sore throat. Nothing much to complain about. Now, interestingly, there are some colours here which are colours. But it's the light doing something. It's the glass doing something rather interesting, where it's moving light around, so it focuses in one area, but it removes it from another. So you end up with something which is sort of, it's a colour borrowed from somewhere, but darkened, and then also, and so it becomes almost completely unrecognizable as to what's happening where or why. Like I said, I'm not going to worry about this stuff. So we can put a bit more dark into here and into here. A bit darker even. Including on the outside. With each bit, it sort of refines the shape somewhat. Again, as my head moves around, it keeps seeing these things from slightly different angles. So, yeah, it all needs to come in at the same time. Something a bit like that there, yeah, that's kind of the colour. Weirdly, it works. So there's these conversations between all the different colours that are happening. There's going to be a light that comes down there. In the meantime, right, top of that slightly smaller brush, and across the oh yeah, the lighter colour from above. Ah, that's in here. Well, that's all got a bit confused. Seems to work. Da, 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 da. A bit here. We're fiddling now. Doesn't matter. I can break those edges. They're not important. What's going to be important? Highlights and lowlights and all those sorts of things. Okay, so what am I going to need now? This, but slightly greener. Put a bit of that green, put it here. Is this going to be enough? I'm doing all this with brush mixes, so probably not. Too green? Yes. Darker and browner. More red in it. What's that doing? There we are. And actually, probably dark in the corner. Should go in afterwards. Where was I? Oh yeah. Definitely like this colour. The inside. Smashing. Make a slightly pinker one over here. Okay, this is where the whole mother colour idea is quite useful. So this is an ambient light colour. Put some of that pink in it. What's this do? Yeah. So it almost doesn't matter what colour you end up with, as long as your starting point looks after you. And that's not enough. I want that to be thicker. There's a reference. That's fine. And then a slightly redder version over here. It's going to go under that. Again, like I said, all of this has to be thicker paint. Yeah, so this is guiding me to a light colour, which can go into here and here, and a few places here. So they give you a lot of instructions. It's important to read all of the instructions on your medicine before you drink it straight out of the bottle. Very important. This light is also going to work for things like, I'm not entirely sure I know where this goes yet, but I feel like I sort of feel like I do. If I feel like I can see it, I think I can put it in. Actually, that's not such a big deal. This is before the bright highlights and things turn up, so. At the same time, I don't want to overdo it. Oh dear. No, not that. I don't know why I thought it went there. Okay, these lights go. Ah, here we are. This is interesting. So it starts off with its creamy colour at the top, and then it blends into its reddy colour underneath. And then there's extra red over to one side. That's what's going on with that. Yeah, I feel like all the paint's getting a bit too thin and scratchy now, and I'm not happy about that. It is not what I want to happen. This doesn't know where its top edge is, so it's losing its direction. It breaks up a bit. That's okay. Yeah, I haven't put a what's the word I'm looking for? A time lapse on in the middle of a live stream for a while, so I think I might do that now. Make a cup of tea. Oh, bump into everything, you know, all that stuff. Yeah. There we go. See you shortly. Well, welcome back. Oh, there's a few of us out here. Good stuff. I'm sorry you can't see me. The other camera is on, but the little bit of software that allows you to adjust it has been broken because everything has to be new. You see, so so they've made a new thing which breaks it all. So that's great. Yes, wants me to download it again for no reason at all. So I've come to a few conclusions about this. One is that this background business is too confusing. The slope, I suppose it does feel slightly ill, which I guess is maybe what I'm after here. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I think I might change that. I think it needs a dynamic line going this way. And that could just be in sort of the delivery of this from a painting point of view. I think that might be enough. But yeah, I suppose I won't worry about that too much. What I am going to need is some bright light. I will use titanium white, and I'll use a bit of this yellowy mother colour just to soften that down. That's still like very bright. It can go a bit brighter still. So it's sort of keeping a lid on that. Make a slightly cooler one as well. I will borrow a bit of that green. Just the tiniest bit. And it's still a light, but it's nowhere near as light. I'm sort of running out of room here, which is always really irritating. How quickly I don't have any space left. Oh, there's a ping. Is that the ping of a message? No, Olive, yes. No, I'm afraid not. Yeah, I personally don't I don't like that argument between the sweet and savoury. So a grape goes well in a Benlin martini, if you ask me. It's a sort of a fun twist. Or if you're feeling adventurous, a date. But yeah, a cocktail stick, something on a cocktail stick would be good. Or a strepsil, maybe, if you can get one on a cocktail stick. That's a fun thought, isn't it? One of those chewable vitamin C's. Okay, I've got a few lights now. I've also got a necessity for a shadow color, which is for the label and for the lid, and it's got to relate to what went in here. I just mixed a green for reasons I cannot fathom. They're going to go into the glass, that's why. So yeah, so we've got a few types of greens. Let's get some of that red. Let's make this slightly purpley colour. Let's use this bit of this brown just to soften it down. painted poetically. Yeah, okay, that's kind of the colour I can see. Might not be exactly the right tone. I think it's too soon to be able to tell. I think that'll probably work just right. Pretty much matches that. Let's put some of that on first before I do anything else. There's probably a bit in the glass as well. But to begin with, if I can get some of those simple shapes in. Same thing down here. Don't overdo it. Yeah, nice and thin there, so that it's slightly confusing. Sort of browner in a few places, like in here. Ah, it's a real balancing act, this. Yeah. Like a darker purple. How's that doing? Once the light's in, that should make a bit more sense. Fiddling again. Yeah, that's it. I'd gone a bit too light. That's nice, it's thicker paint now. Ah, yeah, there is a bit of an angle to that. Oh, that's all a bit wobbly. Concentrating so much on the thicker paint, I'm losing my drawing. That's good. The slightly lighter side, which is useful in some places. It will be useful for where I want solid marks here. Okay, that's nice. It gives a bit of structure to the yeah. I can't use words anymore. Yeah, to the side of the yeah, the place where the instructions are on the bottle. It's quite fun. Now I have got that light. I'm really looking forward to getting that on. Before I do, I'll put this sort of pinky purple thing. And I can pull out a few shapes with this. Before it gets bright. That's greener. What about in here? No, it's all green. Weird. Right in here. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, so here's where the green starts to show up. That is going to be proper bright in a bit, but it's not yet. See, now I'm put the green, that looks purpley. Bring a bit of that light in. Now, where else was I saying there's green? There's green in here. This bit's more green, as is this bit. Weirdly, it's sort of somewhere between the two around here. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Bluer up here. Isn't bad. Okay. Go back to that purple colour. Even lighten it up a little bit here. Let's pop a little dash in there. This has got to be really simple, quick. Right, now there's this darker purple colour. Sometimes it's the darks that are going to make this behave. But all of this looks light. Which isn't ideal. Green. That's quite nice. Yeah, it's already right. What else? I'm going to use this background colour brush for my light, just so it doesn't, it's not too intense. It's past. That means I've got half an hour. Or is that 1:45? It's probably 1:45 actually. That's all right. I can still take half an hour if I need it. There's no rules. Okay, where else does this go? Oh, there's this green one, which is going to be the label on this, which is just where it's in the light. Needs to be somewhere in between the two, I think. What's that doing? I'd like a vertical mark, please. Thank you. Okay, while I've got this greeny highlight, there's a rather glorious bit around here. I have to be able to see it first. I think it's going to be that. Could get brighter than that even. There you are, that's good. Where else? Where else does it go? A bit in the middle. There's other lights, different coloured lights. These darks which go up, meet it and stop like that. Do. Yeah, so all the lights that aren't quite specular highlights. You can go in like this. I'll go back to the creamy one. It's going to go in here somewhere. That'll do it. It's also going to create some of the little bits there. Well, I've got some of this orange on. There can be a couple of those bits. There can be a little bit of that in there. It's nice. Okay, I'm actually a lot closer to having this done than it looks. The last bits are going to be things like that, and if it's on in one stroke, I'm trying to do those ridges was a mistake. Let's just do it with the texture of the paint. That's much better. There we are. And we have a lid. Little bit of a highlight in there. bits in here. That's nice. So there's still some darks to go in a few places. Zing. Okay. Really tempted to keep jumping ahead to other things, but sort of in the reflections there. What I haven't done yet as well is the very, very red. Extra double redness. So start off with this end here. Do I need to mix thicker paint? No, that will be okay. Okay, and then gradually it gets a bit lighter, a little bit more orange. And this is where I'm going to introduce the cad yellow. Yeah, I can always take paint away from here, so starting with a proper slab is probably not a bad idea. I want to go to maximum red there. Oh, danger. There's a purpley colour here as well. Just the logo. Bit of extra redness here. And in there, and in there. I'm just going to brush where I had the very, very bright red on it. Yeah. A bit of that now. A bit going in here. There's a whole section in that. of that in there, a little bit at the side. A smaller, neater brush. Yep. That should be it, actually, shouldn't it? There's a few other little bits. Oh, back to my green again somehow. That is definitely enough. I'm probably fiddling now. So last bits of white. Let's put them on here. Again, a nice stripe across there. Now, I was concentrating so much when I'm doing this stuff that I forget to ask what Matt's practicing. Sometimes he'll pipe up that he's here, sometimes he won't, but he sits and practices the bass, and by all accounts is starting to get the hang of it. Yeah, you should share a bit of that. I know I heard some John Paul Jones earlier coming out of Instagram somewhere. That was quite fun, with the appropriately sort of overdriven bass tone, which is quite nice. And so let's find out what Matt's practicing tonight. I won't try and do the writing. If I did, I'd probably end up writing cheesy coughs or something. There you go. But there's definitely some benelinness to that, and that sounds like it's 9 o'clock, which is a pretty good time to finish. Right. Get some more light onto here and then really thicken it up for that highlight. This will also give me the excuse that this sort of yeah, a big spread of light that's making it impossible to pinpoint my lips. Oh yeah, there's my red. Oh, I just painted my phone. Fantastic. sort of a grey rather than a black here. Right. Just can kind of describe some of these forms of letters and shapes and whatever else. Yeah, there's writing all over the bottle, mostly serving instructions and stuff like that. But people make up their own mind about that. You don't have to have it in a martini glass. Even you can, like I said, just swig it straight out of the bottle, or yeah, put it into some other recipe. It's options. It's very versatile. No, it's nice. And it's also going to give me a bit of a... Now, have I forgotten anything obvious? No, I'm not going to fiddle too much. Always with ellipses, it's a tricky one. Like, you could fiddle forever. It will never be 100% right. It will get gradually more right until it's perfect, and then it's dead. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think I've got the general beneliness. A little bit of yellow there. And that's it. Yep. I'm realising my shadows, which felt too light, are now too dark, but there you go. That's how that worked. The diagonals, yeah, it's all right. I haven't put the strepsils in. Should I put the strepsils in? That's the question. Strepsils or no strepsils? They are a lovely sort of jewel-like blue colour, so I've got all the ingredients to paint them if necessary. So oh, right, sorry. Did that just happen? Oh, it was when I hit it with my brush, wasn't it? And now there's a delay. Okay. Let's get adjusted. There we are. Yeah, that diagonal just looks completely off to me. It's really throwing me. Well, that's very supportive of you, Josie. I appreciate it. Josie says she likes it how it is. Yeah, you could overdo it. I don't think a strepsil would read right, to be honest. I don't think. Maybe just one. I'm going to put one in. I can always take it out if it doesn't work. And it's going to go here. I'm going to do it mostly with one brush. think. There's the colour. Make a little bit of a space. Again, it's another ellipse as if I needed any more of those. We got here's the tricky one. Yeah, a few extra darks in there, that's probably enough. Yeah, doesn't need any more than that. Keep seeing all though. Okay, did that help? No, in which case it's done. Stop it. Put the brush down. think I'll go with Strepsil colour for a signature. Ta-da! I hope that's been enjoyable. I think we've got some of the coziness of the colours. So I'm going to have a little change to the single camera. We can have a little look around. Of course, none of this would be possible without the continuous help of my assistant, who is very good at ignoring. Aren't you? Excuse me. Hem. No. Right, yeah, so he's not playing. So it's like the Blair Witch Project, isn't it? Not joining in. No, good. Okay. So that's my subject matter. And there's some close up. My painting. So I get right in there. We've got quite rough, inexact painting there. I'm quite pleased. I think the box works well. A bit of extra contrast. This is heavy light on the rim of, which actually goes outside of its boundaries, but it gives you an idea of the brightness of it. Yeah, so that's a little essay on how to have a cold with style. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Oh, I'm going to go try and clean paint off my phone. So thanks for joining me, and yeah, I'll see if I can do something next Monday, and then it's Art Weeks, so that should be fun. So I'll go for some variety with that. And in the meantime, do stay connected and stay in touch, and I'll see you all soon. A very good night.